Yeah, I like it. It is bad.
I've got a solar system here, and boy, if I run the inverter, it'll... And my radio don't like that.
The inverter, huh?
Yeah.
If I go around and put several of my lights in the house kind of midway up, I can hear the crap from them. But the softball and baseball fields in the park behind my house, of course, they're with the temperatures in the 60s, I think mid-70s tomorrow, they're getting active, and they go off automatically at 11 o'clock that night. Before that, 15 and 10 are useless.
This goes all the way across every bit of HS.
I live right in the middle of town and back up right against the 7-Eleven. They got all kind of stuff running, and I just don't have a noise problem at all.
Yeah, don't jinx yourself, man. Seriously. Tomorrow night it'll be...
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that.
What happened to Dennis?
I was waiting for him a minute ago. Dennis, you still around?
Well, gentlemen, it's been my pleasure. I'm going to have to call it a night.
Okie dokie. I learned some stuff about Echo Link tonight that I didn't know.
Oh, you're going to like Echo Link, I promise you.
I'll write that down tomorrow when I wake up. I'm going to try to work from home tomorrow, which means I'll probably play on a radio and answer email on the computer. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, you got to send them a copy of your license, and that's about all there is to it. And there's lots and lots of repeaters. A lot of these repeaters are linked into DMR and Fusion, and some of them got 15, 20 links. Cool.
Well, CJ, I'm glad I'm not the only one who didn't know about that.
Well, you know, this is my second go-around at ham radios, so after being gone for decades and coming back, different set of call letters and everything, I'm still learning stuff about these, some of the new modes, and I've got several FT8 aficionados that live close by me, and they keep trying to get me to get into that, but you know, I can't sit there and shoot the breeze with both you guys on FT8, and it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Right, I'm not a giant fan of that either. But, Brett, hey, thanks for the conversation and the information. Learned a bit. So, always trying to learn something new here, too. Like CJ, I hadn't been active now 7 years, and I know you've been in and out through the years, so always something new. Hey, W5MZX, W5LY, I know you probably want to get to bed.
Yeah, I'll run a little FT8, but it'll bore you to death in short order. Good night, gentlemen. W5MZX clear.
Hey, Brad, nice to talk to you. Hopefully run across you on the band. I tend to lurk around late at night. I slept earlier and I woke up and I was like, man, I'll try to get on 40 and see how messy it is. And it's nice and clean tonight. You guys cleaned it up for everyone.
I guess so, man. That we scared them all off. It is nice and quiet. Don't jinx it.
Kind of sounds like 20 here. But you're right. The signal levels are down a bit. I don't have my desk set up yet to have a laptop here on the right of the radio. Basically, nothing fancy here at the moment, but if I'm looking straight in front of me at the desk, I've got the Yaesu, and I've got a little kind of desktop shelf that's about 14 inches high and about as wide as the radio, plus about 2 on each side. On top of that's the antenna tuner, and then I've got the through the window thingy from MFJ, and that's where I've got the one-to-one balun and about 4 inches of open wire going to the open wire outside, and on my left, about 45 degrees on the left, is the Alpha 87, and then there's some existing shelving in here, wooden shelving, about 6.5 feet high. I used to have a lot of IDs back then, but I stuck the 800H like at my 9 o'clock here, and I think I'm gonna hook up some stuff to where I can just switch amps whenever I want to easily, just by moving some coax around. So nothing real fancy here at the moment, and I totally forgot the point that I was going to make, so never mind.
That thought flew right out the window, did it?
Yeah. And those were crept up a little. Oh, no. Oh, that's not it. That 4-to-1 balance, man. I'd sit here and talk on it, and the Viswar would creep up. I'd retune the tuner, and creep up a little bit. I'd retune the tuner, and I'd reach over, and it'd be kind of warm to the touch. But if you let it cool off, the same thing would happen. And when I first got it, it wasn't that way. So, swinging that ballot is suspiciously, I think, close to end of life. So I put the 1-to-1 in, and I played around with it with that MFJ 988, and the MFJ 988 did like it better going up and down the bands, but it still really didn't like 15, but I could tune it manually. But I called up the guys at HRO here, and I know I'm getting long. Okay, nobody's talking. I call up the guys at HRO. I said, can I do a deal with you? I got a used it one day 988, and if you guys have one of those Palstar auto tuners that's good for 1800 watts, maybe we can make a deal. Well, they're sending me one from Virginia that'll be here Wednesday, and I'll take this thing over there, and we might do some sort of trade for some other gear or something like that.
Oh, there you go. Those Palstars look pretty nice.
Well, you know, the neat thing is, the 988 has a bunch of relays in it, so you've got all these set points. And the Palstar has a continuously rotatable inductor and big bread slicer capacitor, so it will get to exactly the point that you need to get to.
All right. Now, I have 988 or the 998.
Oh, you asked me the hard question, man. It's the one it's the auto tuner that says it's good for 1500 watts. Let me light it up here.
Yeah, it's the 998. Yeah. So what I have is the remote version, so it's the guts of that in an outside box with all the connections on it.
Yeah, I saw that. I guess you like it?
Yeah, it's worked all right so far. I had the smaller, lower power version of it, but you can't really get in and change the parameters in it. This one, I haven't pulled the cover off. It's a little misaligned. I'm a little disappointed with that. The first one I got was way misaligned on 2 points, and I got to send that one back. But they worked identically. It even tunes 160 out there. So, you know, my 85-foot inverted L, I actually worked a bunch of stations on 160 the other night when they had their little contest. Put a little power behind it, and hey, if I heard them, they could hear me. I even worked a guy down in the Caymans. ZF2 VE or something like that. I actually talked to him on 10 earlier today, too. He's about to head back home. Let's see. So, it even has the display and everything in the box out there. So if you take the cover off, you can go reset it. And it's worked all right. Sometimes I have to trick it, and it gets a little wonky when it wants to pull in the previous memory, and the memory ain't right anymore because my ground changes and other things will change. So I have to go trick it by going off band and back, or I go to another section of the band, and then it tries to retune. And so far, it'll tune them all.
Now, if you use the in the shack version of it, you end up